The crypto market has been a bit of a roller coaster in the past 24 hours. We've seen huge liquidations across Bitcoin and Ethereum. One particular person got $51.56 million worth of liquidation. And total short liquidations across the market have been 445.25 million. The longs only 61 million. This has created a lot of upward momentum inside the crypto market. Over the past 49 days, we've seen the entire crypto market come down, and it was at a very key point of inflection. In the past 24 to 48 hours, it could have sold down, so therefore many people went short. Holding on to a specific story is very problematic. That's why, with the CTKS method, we know and understand price is always moving in a wave. It can come up, it can go down, it can go flat. And we take all three options and put them on the table each and every time we get into the market. Just looking a little bit further across, we can see that Bitcoin was at that level of structure, trying to figure out if it was going up or going down. We know what happened next. All the shorts got absolutely whacked. In this video, we're going to look through the crypto market and make a bit of an assessment as to what the structure is telling us. It's incredibly valuable information. Let's get into it and let's run the numbers. Welcome back, Elite Service members and CTKS family. It's great to have you here. Now, what are we seeing on Bitcoin? Bitcoin was doing this basing. Now, somebody went into Bitcoin, they were shorting it, anticipating Bitcoin would fall off a cliff. And that wasn't unreasonable, especially when we've seen some pretty bizarre action with the VIX. Anybody watching the VIX futures in the past 24 hours saw it drop off a cliff. But this wasn't confirmed by the main VIX, so that's something to just keep your mind on. But what we're looking at here, you can see that Bitcoin was basing and took all of these shorts out of the market. Just to let the service members know, the service video has been released, so let's have a peep at the structural levels on Bitcoin. We can see just under the 109,000, there was actually a ton of structural support supporting Bitcoin. And around this particular time, things got really interesting. And what did we see? We saw explosive action literally up to the previous all-time high on Bitcoin. Passing through so many levels of structural resistance, it means that the sellers are getting in en masse. Certainly, the shorts needed to cover their positions and they needed to buy back to do that. So price was going up. But as soon as that's cleared out, you're going to get these kind of consolidation actions. What Bitcoin currently does around the 111,200 mark is incredibly important. If it holds these levels, if it holds the 111,200 level, it's going higher. But if it doesn't, the next target is 110,800 and the next target 110,400. Let's put our mind into that position of that trader who lost over $50 million shorting Bitcoin. Now, when we look at total crypto market cap, and we know that we've got to look at total and Bitcoin, structural levels in culmination, we saw all of this structural support playing through the entire crypto market, which of course includes Bitcoin. We started to break out, came back and retested, and then retested again, pushing through this really heavy structural resistance at that $3.38 trillion mark. We also came up to the 3.42 trillion before the sellers overwhelmed the buyers. Now, what does it mean? If Bitcoin is going to go higher, it must clear the $3.42 trillion level. How will you know it's actually cleared that if you're trading Solana or XRP or Doge or anything else? I'll show you. The first thing is that we need to pop back to Bitcoin. Look at these two tops here. Those two tops occur around the 111757 level. So if we don't get above 111757, we're under negative duress and pressure. Structure is so completely simple. If it can't get above, if it can get above, it's going to the next level. If the next level can't get above that, it's coming back to the one below. If it can get above it, it's going up to the one above. Very super simple, but you've got intercorrelation in your charts. So across the entire crypto market, 111757 is the level to watch. We also understand that we've got Bitcoin structural support playing through this area. Now let's go into another crypto. And we'll look at some community favorites, but before we do that, let's have a look at the daily charts. We can see on ADA was in a downtrend and is looking like it wants to get out of that downtrend. We may get a retest here, which is quite normal. So please be aware, just because we get a big green candle doesn't mean we're not going to get a red one after it. Boy oh boy, it happens. You must prepare. And it happens a lot more than a lot of people realize. Just getting a green candle doesn't mean anything in itself. It's all structure. So the one thing that we can see, there is a favorable odd that the entire crypto market can go higher. Solana is looking terrific. Look at that basing action, fantastic. Also, Doge is looking really good, and XRP has actually been leading the pack. Each and every month, I draw these CTKS paths across all of the cheat sheet components, and it's really interesting. I put in the member video how much we got this coverage. It was literally pinging the consolidation case on XRP. And you might think, oh, Ken, you just drew these lines in at the end of the month. When you look at the service video, I drew them at the start of the month. And this is what the paths are designed to give us, an understanding of how structure and price intercorrelate and interact. And if you want all the paths for all the components of the cheat sheet, gold, silver, copper, the S&P 500, of course, Bitcoin, XRP, Doge, all of those, you just become a member of the service. It is incredible knowledge. Those wavy lines that I draw are always based on CTKS Structure. CTKS Structure is incredibly powerful. You already know where price can go from an up and down level. You already know the key levels in advance. The force is currently strong with XRP, and the next levels of overhead structural resistance play out between 246 and 248. We're seeing a lot of power inside XRP, and to understand XRP's direction, you must look at Bitcoin and total crypto market cap from a structural perspective. Then the question becomes, how do you do that? Well, just keep in mind the total crypto market cap. Now, this is all the projects inside the crypto space. They're coming up to overhead structural resistance at that 3.42 trillion. They're having trouble. There's a lot of sellers here. Well, you would say they're taking profits. Also, we're seeing a degree of weakness just pop into XRP at the current time. And this is giving us an indication that there may be a bit of a wobble around that $3.42 trillion mark. CTKS is an absolute specialist inside the crypto market, so when we look at cryptos, we understand cross-correlation between different pairs. For example, the white line here is XRP. You can see its current price, $241.30. And also, right now at Bitcoin, we've got that structural overhead resistance that Bitcoin is seeking to get through. Of course, we read these levels from the right. That means that they are forward-looking. Whereas conventional TA is leftwards looking or backwards looking. We are forwards or rightward looking. We already know where the buy and sell levels are incredibly important. These levels, called CTKS levels, tell you exactly where the algorithms and smart money are going to buy and going to sell. It tells you how strong they are, how gapped they are. It tells you so many things. And if you want the Bitcoin indicator, you can get it from ctksmethod.org. We actually understand that if we get through this structural level on Bitcoin, we'll still have to contend with the total crypto market cap structural level up there, 111,757. For now. Because as profiting students know, these levels move around because the percentages of up and down move around over time as well. Let's have a look at ADA's structure. We can see price is always moving in a wave. This is very important to understand because different people come online and offline at different times. You may see the market going up and then realize it's coming down, and you might sell there only for it to go up and down all over the place, but it's always structure. And knowing where that structure is vitally important. For example, the actual structure on ADA was playing out through here at that 6110 level, not up here, not down there, but there and here. Now, this is a very important distinction because we know where the sellers inhabit. These particular lines, they're not brick walls, they're gravitational areas. But you can see here how important they are. We had a big push up into structural overhead resistance, and because that resistance was reasonably strong, it flatlined price. When you see consolidations, it's because of it. It's price interacting with structure. And now the very fact that we got above that 6110 mark pushed us up to the next level of overhead structural resistance at 6270. Now we know that ADA is dependent on Bitcoin's movements and total crypto cap movements as well. If you're trading and investing in ADA and you don't know the structure on total crypto market cap or Bitcoin, you're in a world of hurt. Therefore, in order to get up to the 65 mark, Bitcoin and total crypto market cap have to show positive momentum. If they show negative momentum, we're back to 6110 or even back further. And if you would like to get the ADA indicator, you can grab it from ctksmethod.org. Please let me know in the comments, where do you think ADA and XRP are going to in the next 24 hours? And what do you think about Bitcoin and total crypto market cap? Putting out your ideas on a day-to-day basis is a really, really good idea. Understanding how structure hits the market is incredibly important. For example, if you were just trading or investing inside Solana, just knowing where Solana's structure is of course vitally important, but it must be stacked against total crypto market cap and Bitcoin structure as well. Let's just pop on Solana structure to see how things are cooking and where smart money and algorithms are actually buying and selling. We can see the algos were buying like crazy at the 148.60 mark. And always just understand that this up and down wavy action is controlled by Bitcoin and total crypto market cap. We know that recently we had that big spike in, but we had overhead structural resistance around that 156.10 mark inside Solana. The next overhead structural resistance is around 158.10, so just bear this in mind. Now, what is going to determine if Solana goes higher or goes lower? You got it. It is so simple. It's what happens with Bitcoin structure and total crypto market cap structure. That's it. But of course, the structure inside Solana is key, as we've seen recently in XRP. Please let me know in the comments, where do you think Solana will go in the next 24 hours? One thing to understand, when you look across the structure, especially across the structure in the cheat sheet of the crypto market, taking out a short position on the majors was a little bit dangerous. In fact, you just wanted to wait and see, was the VIX going to spike up or the VIX going to come down? And if you're not sure what that means, put "I'm not sure" inside the comments, and I can explain the importance of the VIX in future videos. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to this video so that we can reach more people. There are so many things that people need to understand about how markets work. Unfortunately, so many influencers are just story peddlers. They don't embrace the reality of the market, and the cost of that can be substantial. The key is to not burn your account. The markets are unlimited opportunity machines. So for example, if you miss the spike, don't worry, you'll be able to get into it later. You know what a big green candle does, it tends to decay. If it decays too far, it will retrace the entire move. There are always opportunities. What you want to do is to think in terms of 3 dimensions, always from the current price, saying to yourself, what is structure telling me? Is this going up? Is this a structural pass? It is, or is it a structural failure? Manage your downside risk at all times. That is the key. If you want your account to go up, you must seek to minimize your drawdowns. And don't give 2 hoots if you miss an upward move. It is irrelevant. There is always another move coming because price moves in waves. So just take this particular person, for example, losing over 51 million. That is a little bit of a bite out of their account. And the key is to make sure that you manage downside risk and don't burn your account like this guy did. Don't subscribe to stories, just always understand price is always moving in a wave. The markets can change like lightning, and when they do, you need to be ready. A quick point of process. Have you understood CTKS structure, the SLs or the Stanfield levels on the chart that you're actually putting money into? The only story that you want to have is that price moves between structural levels. If it can confirm a structural level as support, it's moving up to the next one. If it can confirm that, it's moving up to the next one. That's the only story that you need. The key is always the same. Do not get your account burned. Focus more on the downside risk rather than the upside gain. The green fire can come out and absolutely whack your accounts, so please be careful. Just keep your eye on structure. If you're getting a structural pass, that's good. It's got positive structural attraction, and we should get over that total crypto market cap resistance as well. But the only story is price reality and structure. A fantastic thing to do, and we've got so many students of the CTKS method just watching this video. Please let me know your story for the next 24 hours. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be up, it can be down. Everybody's doing different things and at different time zones as well. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends. And if you're in the service, please make sure that you check out the video. It's a ripper. That video literally goes through every single component of the cheat sheet, and it does kinds of analysis that I've not seen anywhere else. You'll find it very, very informative. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.